I have a long history with cockroaches and they're all pretty traumatic experiences, so I'm gonna talk about some of them because these little bastards made their way into my core memory and I'll probably never forget about those memories. They've earned their place in my YouTube channel. First of all, I'm terrified of most insects bigger than 3 centimeters. I know, what a little wuss. Girl, we humans are so much bigger than insects. Why are you so scared of them? I don't know, okay, I just am, okay? Don't judge. A few years ago, it was late at night, probably around 1 a.m. when I decided to head downstairs into the kitchen to grab some snacks. Back then, I would often bring snacks up to my room and munch on them while watching YouTube on my iPad on my bed. Yeah, I know, it was, really a really bad habit and incredibly unhygienic, but I didn't care. I found my snacks and headed back upstairs to my room, excitedly awaiting some me time late at night, munching on snacks and watching my favorite YouTubers. Before entering my room, that's when I saw it. A huge ass cockroach in the living room, a meter or two from the outside of my bedroom door. I froze. What do I do? Can I just leap over it and leave it alone? Do I shout for my mom? What do I do? I decided that leaving it alone is the best option as I really didn't want to deal with it so late at night, in the dark. As the saying goes, if you don't kacau me, I don't kacau you. I tiptoed around it and stepped into my bedroom with my snacks, breathing a sigh of relief. I closed the door and there it was! That same huge-ass cockroach has crawled through the gap underneath and crawled up the door. I was locked inside my room, face to face with this creature. Please don't fly, please don't fly, please don't fly. As if it understood my words, it started flying. Of course, I started screaming. Pretty sure I woke up the entire house with my screams. I slammed the door open and ran outside. I banged on my mom's bedroom door and she came out all confused. I told her everything that happened in a panic. Then she proceeded to hunt down the roach in my room and kill it. My mom won the battle with the king of cockroaches, and I'm still crying from the shock because to me, cockroaches are absolutely filthy creatures. I cannot stand them, and I would never want to go near one. The fact that I had such a close encounter with a huge cockroach gives me goosebumps and triggered my anxiety. That brings me to my second story. I don't exactly remember when this happened. All I can remember is that it happened a while ago. We were at my grandparents' house in Penang. They lived in this old one-story house for decades, which also means that there are plenty of critters running around in the nooks and crannies of the house. There were mice, mosquitoes, cockroaches, small snakes, etc. We would often encounter them while staying over. Yeah, you're probably thinking, wow, Claire, that is a horrible environment to be in, especially with the fear of insects. Yes, dear viewers, you are correct. What choice do I have? So, one night before bed, I went to use the bathroom, and when I was walking towards it, I saw it. A cockroach right outside of the bathroom door. And guess what? This one's huge too! I quickly called for my dad, but when he came out, the cockroach disappeared. Wow, suddenly I don't need to pee anymore. The next day, I took my clothes to the bathroom as I was getting ready to shower, hung my clothes, and when I was about to hang my pants on the same hook on the wall in the bathroom, that same cockroach from the night before crawled out from underneath my clothes, scaring the living shit out of me. It was right in front of me, about 5 inches away from my face. I screamed and ran out the bathroom crying to my parents. By then, the cockroach has already crawled out from the bathroom. My grandmother grabbed her slipper and started beating the cockroach. Grandma to the rescue! Well, my third and final story was one of the most traumatic experiences I ever had. Yes, I am not done! It was the most recent one, which is why I wanted to end this video with it. Back then, I used to have the habit of eating in bed, right? Y'all know that already. So one morning, my mom brought breakfast to me who was still sleeping in bed. She brought me a polo bao, also known as polo bun, which is a sweet, soft bread with a crunchy, sugary topping that is a popular pastry from Hong Kong. It's very fragrant and delicious. You can literally smell it from a mile away. She placed the paper bag with the polo bun inside by the side of my bed and left the room. I woke up hours later, grabbed the paper bag beside my bed, and started taking the polo bun out of the paper bag. The moment I did that, something else fell out and landed on my arm. Looking at that thing on my arm, it took me exactly 0.3 seconds to process what it was. You guessed it, dear viewers, it was a cockroach. You can probably imagine what happened next. I jumped out of bed, screaming, of course, and ran out of my room, sobbing to my mom, who ran upstairs because she heard my screams. Mommy to the rescue once again. She killed it, and because at the time my OCD was getting worse, I felt really grossed out that a cockroach had been on my arm and crawling about on my bed. So my mom helped me change the bed sheets while I was still crying from the shock right outside of my bedroom. Ever since this incident, I never eaten a single thing on my bed or in my bedroom, which solved the problem. Nowadays, I rarely see cockroaches in my room. I have to learn the hard way, huh? The cockroach was probably drawn to the smell of the polo bun. Like I said, you can smell it from a mile away. There goes my top 3 most traumatic experiences with cockroaches. Do you have any traumatic experiences related to insects as well, especially cockroaches? Let me know in the comments. I wanna feel less alone. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!